In this video, we are going to cover a detailed summary of Shakespeare's play, The Merchant of Venice, exploring its story, characters, and events in narrative form. So let's start. The story of The Merchant of Venice begins in the bustling city of Venice, a center of trade, wealth, and social hierarchy. Antonio, a merchant of great reputation and generosity, is deeply respected in his community. Despite his outward success, Antonio is troubled by an undefined melancholy, a sadness that seems to have no clear cause. His friends and associates attempt to cheer him, but he cannot shake his gloom. At the same time, his close friend Bassanio is introduced, a young man of charm and ambition but limited means. Bassanio seeks to pursue the hand of Portia, a wealthy and intelligent heiress residing in Belmont. Portia is admired not only for her beauty, but also for her wit, moral sense, and sharp mind. Bassanio's desire to court Portia, however, is complicated by his financial limitations. To fund his journey to Belmont, he turns to Antonio for help. Although Antonio's wealth is tied up in trade ventures at sea, he agrees to secure a loan for Bassanio. To obtain the funds, Antonio approaches Shylock, a Jewish moneylender known for his strict adherence to the law and his bitter resentment of Antonio. Shylock harbors a personal grudge against Antonio, stemming from the merchant's previous insults and public disdain for Shylock's profession. Despite his anger, Shylock agrees to lend the money under unusual and ominous conditions. If the loan is not repaid on time, Antonio must forfeit a pound of his own flesh. Though extreme, Antonio consents, confident that his ships at sea will return safely and the debt can be repaid without consequence. While these financial arrangements unfold in Venice, Bassanio travels to Belmont to woo Portia. Portia's father has left a test for her suitors. Each man must choose one of three caskets, silver and leaden. Only the one who selects the correct casket may marry her. Bassanio approaches this challenge with careful thought, humility, and honesty. Observing the superficiality of the gold and silver caskets, he chooses the lead casket, which symbolizes true worth beneath appearances. His choice reveals both his intelligence and his sincere love for Portia. The casket test, a symbolic representation of inner virtue versus outward show, establishes Shakespeare's theme of appearance versus reality. Bassanio wins Portia's hand, and their budding romance adds a sense of hope, joy, and anticipation to the narrative. Back in Venice, the situation grows tense. Antonio's ships are reported lost at sea, leaving him unable to repay Shylock. True to the contract, Shylock demands the pound of flesh, seeking revenge for both personal grievances and perceived injustices. The Venetians are shocked by the cruelty of the demand. Antonio faces the possibility of death, while Bassanio, who has just married Portia, returns in anguish upon learning of his friend Isadea's predicament. The conflict between mercy and justice becomes central to the play. Shakespeare explores themes of prejudice, law, and compassion as the characters navigate the tension between rigid adherence to legal codes and the need for human empathy. Portia, demonstrating intelligence and resourcefulness, disguises herself as a young male lawyer named Balthazar, accompanied by her maid Nerissa, who also assumes a male disguise. Portia travels to Venice to intervene in the court proceedings. In the courtroom, Shylock presents his case, demanding his legal right to the pound of flesh. The Duke, sympathetic but bound by Venetian law, cannot prevent Shylock from exacting justice. Portia, speaking as Balthazar, skillfully argues that Shylock may take the flesh, but he must do so without shedding a drop of Antonio's blood. Shylock realizes that this is impossible. Any attempt to remove the flesh without bloodshed would violate the law. Trapped by his own rigid insistence on vengeance, Shylock's plan is thwarted. Furthermore, Portia asserts that since Shylock sought the life of a Venetian citizen, the law allows for confiscation of his property. Shylock's wealth is divided between Antonio and the state, though Portia shows some mercy by sparing his life and allowing him to retain a portion of his estate. This dramatic courtroom scene showcases Shakespeare's exploration of justice, mercy, and the consequences of hatred. Portia's cleverness and eloquence save Antonio's life, highlighting the theme that intelligence, morality, and compassion can triumph over cruelty and revenge. In parallel, the romantic subplots unfold. Nerissa, Portia's maid, cleverly tricks her husband, Graciano, into giving her his wedding ring, mirroring the wit and ingenuity of her mistress. These intertwined comic and romantic elements balance the tension of the main plot, providing humor, playfulness, and insight into human relationships. Shakespeare often contrasts the extremes of mercy and revenge, love and law, to explore the complexity of human motives and interactions. As the story concludes, Antonio is saved, his fortunes are restored, and his bond with Bassanio is strengthened. Bassanio's loyalty and Portia's intelligence are celebrated, emphasizing the rewards of virtue, honesty, and cleverness. Shylock, humbled and stripped of much of his power, is forced to conform to Venetian society, symbolizing the consequences of rigidity, prejudice, and excessive vengeance. The resolution blends joy, relief, and moral reflection, leaving audiences with satisfaction at the triumph of mercy, love, and justice. The Merchant of Venice is a rich exploration of human character, law, love, and prejudice. Shakespeare examines themes of mercy versus justice, appearance versus reality, and the complexities of friendship, loyalty, and romantic devotion. Characters such as Antonio, Bassanio, Portia, Shylock, and others demonstrate a wide range of human emotions from love and generosity to envy, bitterness, and cunning. The play balances dramatic tension with humor, romance, and clever dialogue, creating a narrative that is both thought-provoking and entertaining. In the end, the story emphasizes the importance of compassion, the triumph of cleverness over cruelty, and the rewards of honesty and integrity. The unions of Bassanio and Portia, and the clever handling of subplots, reinforce Shakespeare's vision of a world where love, wit, and justice ultimately prevail, even amid adversity. The themes, characters, and moral lessons in The Merchant of Venice continue to captivate audiences, making it one of Shakespeare's most enduring and complex works. The play also leaves a lingering reflection on human nature, especially concerning mercy and vengeance. Shylock's character embodies the tension between justice and revenge, prejudice and humanity, and serves as a reminder of the destructive potential of bitterness. Antonio and Bassanio's friendship, along with Portia's wisdom and courage, highlight the virtues of loyalty, love, and ingenuity. Through legal intricacies, romantic developments, and human folly, Shakespeare crafts a tale that is emotionally rich, morally instructive, and dramatically compelling. Ultimately, The Merchant of Venice combines romance, drama, and moral inquiry, blending tension, humor, and heartfelt emotion. Shakespeare's narrative shows that compassion and wisdom can overcome cruelty and misfortune, while love, loyalty, and cleverness ensure resolution and harmony. The play remains timeless, engaging audiences with its memorable characters, intricate plot, and exploration of the enduring conflicts of human experience.